right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Bob Pompeani with you at 412-575-2600. Want to hear from you, so get on the phone, call us, air your opinions. You can also do it on social media, on X at KDPomp. We have a lot to talk about tonight. The U.S. Open is in town. A lot of practice rounds today. There were some great stories out there. We went live all day, and we'll do it again tomorrow and throughout the course of the week. But also tonight over in PNC Park, the Pirates came away with a big win. Another one now, so 10-3 over Miami Marlins, which means they have won 4 in a row. And more importantly, they're 15-14 under Donnie Kelly, their manager. They've been very good in one-run games. He's been not shy about making moves. Like yesterday, for example, when Paul Skeens had 7 2/3 of scoreless baseball, 1 run, but it was unearned. And he ran into a little hitch into the 8th inning, and he didn't hesitate bringing in Braxton Ashcraft. And when he did, a lot of people said, well, what are you taking Skeens out for? Well, it just so happened they had that conversation before the inning that he was going to face one more batter. Turned out to be 2, and then he went out and took him out. Made a good move, gutsy move. And a lot of people wouldn't have done that. And he did, and they got the win, and he got out of it, did Braxton Ashcraft, and he got his first Major League win. So he's doing a lot of good stuff here. So it's good to see, and they were on a pace, if you're going to factor it out, over 80 wins. I think it's 85 wins since he's taken over. So Donnie Kelly will be the manager here beyond this year if this all continues. There's no question about that. 412-575-2600 is the number to call. This is also the eve of Aaron Rodgers showing up at minicamp, and I'm sure it's going to be just overly covered by everyone. A lot of national media in town, local media as well. Rich Walsh will be there for us all day, and we'll hear what he has to say. He's not expected to talk until after the first session. Today, Aaron Rodgers is playing in the Cam Hayward Golf Tournament at Cyclical Heights, along with DK Metcalf. So it's going to be all hands on deck for this minicamp. And the question is, how much do you think Aaron Rodgers can make a difference, in this season, in 2025 at age 41? I'm certainly hoping he can. They see something in him that they think they can inspire their offense to take it to greater heights with Metcalf in the fold. I still think they need another receiver to complement him, although Calvin Austin has certainly earned his stripes over the last couple of years. They have a new running back to complement Jaylen Warren and Caleb Johnson. They also have, an offensive line that I think may be better, hopefully, and this is all a bunch of ifs right now, but it has to transpire for them to be successful. If Broderick Jones can make that adjustment from right to left, which is his natural position, and Troy Fautano can do the same at right to get in there after a year missing with the injury, they could have something good, because I think Frazier at center, McCormick and Sayamalu are pretty good on the interior of that offensive line. All of this is necessary, I think, for Aaron Rodgers to have success. If that offensive line breaks down and doesn't, that could be problematic. Want to hear from you on this. Do you like it or not? And this leads us to a KDK.com Connect question of the night. You see it on your screen right there. Do you think the U.S. winner will finish under par? And this is brought to you by Williams Country Club. That's our KDK.com Connect. If you've ever been to Williams, it's a really nice place down there in West Virginia, close by, easy ride down 2230, and they're sponsoring this one. And I think it's a good question. Do you think the winner will be under par or over par? I'm going over par. I think I would say no to that. I think it's going to be +2 would be my guess. And given how nasty the rough is right now, it's a beautiful place. We're out there all day today walking around. It is still wet, but, and they got some more rain late tonight. So, by Thursday when they first play, that gives them another couple of days. They should be, fast tracking this thing, and it should be a very interesting test for all these golfers. 412-575-2600, that is the number to call. Want to hear from you on that. Also talking about some of the other things going on, which is Stanley Cup Finals, Game 3 tonight going on in Florida after they split out there. I think that's been one of the most entertaining first 2 games of a Stanley Cup Final that I can remember in quite some time. And on the other side of it, the NBA, you have the Pacers, which stole Game 1 after being down 15 points. They beat the Thunder. Well, last night the Thunder responded, so that also is even at 1 game apiece. 412-575-2600, that's the number. I'm ready to take your call, so call us right here, right now. It is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We're on the air until 11 o'clock, 7 nights a week. We're right here on KDKA+. All right, this is our Xfinity tweet of the night, and it's a picture today done by the Steelers Community Relations Department of both Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf, all smiles today at Cam's golf tournament down at Cyclical Heights. So we'll see what happens in this combination here, but two new guys coming in, very highly productive players. And it will be interesting to see at least how much attention this will get tomorrow. I believe it's going to be all over the national airways for sure. In the meantime, I want to point out that Andrew Filipponi is normally here on Monday nights and Tuesday nights, and currently we're having a problem, some technical problems with his camera up there at 93.7 The Fan. So hopefully we can get those rectified, and he can join us here as this broadcast moves along. So let's talk. And again, we have a lot to talk about with the Pirates winning 4 in a row. I know it's the Marlins, but they just beat the Phillies, which is a nice 3-game sweep. Paul Skeens is, it's amazing. His last 7 outings, a 1.12 ERA, and he only has 1 win out of those 7 outings. And that pretty much in a microcosm tells you what the Pirates have lacked, and that's hitting. They got 10 runs tonight, yes, but overall, they've left so much turkey on the table, as Mike Lang would like to say. So we'll see how that changes in the offseason at the trade deadline. They definitely need help there. They may have to trade some people to get some people, or they may have to sign and spend more money, which I think they should do anyway. Let's go to our number 1 Cochrane Go One Better caller of the night, and that would be Dave in Munhall. He's first up tonight here on the Sports Call. What's up, Dave?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the reason they signed Rodgers. I think a lot of it has to do with Cam Hayward and T.J. Watt getting their last chance to win a championship. And I also believe that because he has a chip on his shoulder from all this controversy, that he's going to be a spark to this team.
He may very well be. I think that's what the Steelers are certainly counting on. And listen, he has the pedigree to tell you he can do that. His arm is still not a question. His arm, to me, is still capable of slinging that ball all over the field. I just worry about his mobility and whether or not the offensive line can make that a non-issue. So that's where it's all starting with me in this whole project. But he is 41, and he's coming off non-contact Achilles surgery, which took him out for a year. And, you know, hopefully by now, 2 years later, that could be not much of an issue. But you know, certainly they're going to be watching that, and you know, whether or not he can survive 17 regular season games in a grueling sport, we'll see. But if he's on and if they give him the time, he has a quick release, he knows what he's doing out there. I think one of the more interesting issues here is how much leeway the Steelers' offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, and Mike Tomlin give him in terms of latitude at the line of scrimmage. Will they allow him to be the 4-time NFL MVP and change plays or do what he thinks is best at the line? You know, I would suspect that that should be the case. I also would have suspected that last year when Russell Wilson was the same sort of guy, a Hall of Fame potential player here coming in, yet he didn't seem to have that opportunity. And I know, you know, when you throw over the middle, the opportunity for tip balls, interceptions increases. But, man, I'll tell you what, in his heyday, Aaron Rodgers, when he zipped the ball over the middle to whomever it may be, Robert Tonyan, a tight end, or Donald Driver, any of those guys, he put it right on the money, and there were a lot of yak yards in his prime. And hopefully that will be the case here with guys in the slot, you know, like a Roman Wilson, guys like Calvin Austin who can turn it on. Having Metcalf go deep can take some attention away from some of those other guys and open up the middle of the field. I've been, you know, very critical over the years of them not using that middle of the field as much as they should. And I think they may do that this year. At least they should. Let's go to Mike in Stowe Township. What's up, Mike? How are you?
Hey, Bob, I think we're all missing the point. We have the captains, offense and defense, from the national championship team. Mm-hmm. And they're coming in as backups.
Well, you got to earn now. Come on, Mike. You got to earn your spots here. Will Howard's not going to play this year. I still think I really like the kid. I had lunch with him over there the other day at the facility, and I was impressed with him. I think a lot of people think, you know, and because of what you saw in that national championship run, after they lost to Michigan in that final game of the year, they responded, and boy, they put together a nice run. And he made some clutch throws in difficult situations. And Jack Sawyer's the same way. Yes, it's good to have those guys because they were on national championship kind of teams. They were the leaders of those teams. But jumping to this league is a whole different story, and it takes some time. And quite frankly, with Rodgers signing and Rudolph as the backup, you don't expect to see much at all of Will Howard, except in our preseason games, which we have on KDKA-TV. We hope you join us for that because we have all 3 of them, Charlie Batch and I in a booth, Craig McConnell, our executive producer, and we are going to have fun watching these guys early on in the process. So we hope you join us for that. Yeah, but, you know, don't expect much this year. They just can't come right in and play. Just because there are people ahead of him they're paying money to, and unless there are injuries, then who knows how this works out. but you should not see Will Howard at all in a regular season game. And it's not because he may not be ready, it's just because they have people ahead of him and he has to buck those odds. 412-575-2600 is the number to call as we continue to talk about not only this, but the U.S. Open. I'd like to get your take. As you saw, our KDKA.com Connect, brought to you by Williams Golf. Do you think the U.S. Open winner will finish under par? Again, my answer is +2. I think that's where it's going to be. It's a tough course. They've added yards. It's more in length than it was in 2016 by about 400 more yards, I think. It's 73-72, par 70. Greens are slick. Rough is lush and thick and deep, and it's hard to hit out of it. I think premium on straight play. We talked to Dustin Johnson today. He was the 2016 winner back here, and he did it. He said the simple thing for him was keeping the ball in play. He said he missed hardly any fairways, and he had enough length, but it doesn't matter the length. If you hit it left or right into the nasty, gnarly rough, you're going to have a hard time getting the ball out, let alone getting it on the green. So that was his key. And whoever would be a long hitter, but also somebody who's accurate off the tee. A guy like Colin Morikawa is somebody I would look for as a contender here this week. He's normally pretty accurate down the middle. You also have guys who have been around for a long time. Adam Scott, when he's on his game, is pretty straight off the tee. So is Lucas Glover, a 2009 U.S. Open winner. Can he do it again, even though he's getting older? There are a lot of older guys in here in their 40s. It's tough to do at that age, especially with some of the young guys. If you're going out tomorrow, I just have a suggestion for you at one of the practice rounds. Tomorrow at 8:45, there'll be a 17-year-old kid who will be playing, and his name is Mason Howell. He qualified just like Matt Vogt did in a different regional, but he was there. He qualified by shooting 63-63 to get in, and he is going to be on the tee at 8:45 tomorrow. I believe it's hole number 10. It's either 1 or 10. And you'll get to see the youngest guy in the field go after it. And the guy can hit the ball a long way. I don't know what to expect from any of those guys. I would doubt that he or Vogt will be able to make the cut given the talent level here. But still, fascinating stories, and that's what the U.S. Open offers because it is truly an open competition. If your handicap is .4 or lower, then you can compete. And they had, I believe, 10,032 entries, something like that. And they only had like 30 spots available. So the odds are not in your favor. But those make for great stories, and we told one of them today. Cassidy Wood had a great story on Matt Vogt, and we'll see Mason Howell tomorrow and see how he does. 412-575-2600. Again, Andrew Filipponi and his camera. There are some technical problems. We're trying to work those out. In the meantime, let's go back to the lines. We have Alex in Aliquippa who joins us right now on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Go ahead, Alex.
Bob, I always enjoy your show.
Thanks.
As a lifelong Pittsburgh fan, I've just been distraught as to the state of the teams recently. I mean, we've been non-championship teams for too long.
Hey, sports is a streaky business, Alex. As you know, it's cyclical. I don't care who you are, you go through streaks. You talk about teams that spend money. You look at the New York Yankees. They spend more than anybody, not named the Dodgers, and yet they don't have any championships of recent vintage. It's got to be a lot of things combined. You got to be healthy, number one. You have to have a lot of guys who have career years, number two. You have to have the right mix in your locker room. And, and even then, sometimes it's not good enough. So, as far as the Pirates, yes, they're a long way away. The Penguins, they're away too. The Steelers, they're probably closer than the other two. And it depends on how these things come together as units. And if they do, there could be surprises in sports. That's why you see some of the things that you see over the course of time. Hopefully something will change here soon because it's more fun when they win. There's no question. Rocco joins us right now in Elwood City, PA. Go ahead, Rocco. How are you?
Hey, Bob, thank you. I think you're a legend, and I greatly appreciate your time taking my call. I want to talk about T.J. McConnell with the Indiana Pacers. I just think it's a great thing. I don't know if it's getting enough hype. We haven't had a guy from Pittsburgh to win an NBA ring since Maurice Lucas in 1977. Friendly High School. Now hopefully it's root for old TJ, to get his dad's a great coach out in Star Valley, winning 9 WPL titles. Great kid. Hopefully he can get it done, him and the Pacers. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. He came into the into the arena the other day, and he was wearing Megan McConnell's uniform because She's making it now as an undrafted free agent in the WNBA. That family just has long ties to basketball. Boy, TJ's story is a great one. From Duquesne to Arizona to an uncertain future in the NBA to where he's now one of the more valuable players of his team. Signed a nice contract. I think there have only been 5 WPIAL players who played in an NBA final. He's now the 5th one to do it. And their series now is 1-1. They couldn't pull it off last night. The Thunder took care of home court after the Pacers overcame that 15-point deficit in Game 1. So it's going to be great. I would love to see him do it. What a story that would be to have TJ McConnell, an NBA champion. I guarantee you back when he was at Chartiers Valley High School, nobody looked at him because he was kind of scrawny back then and said he's going to be an NBA champion. But that's why you play the game, and that's why you never give up. He's a perfect example of what grit, determination, perseverance can do for you. 412-575-2600, that's the number to call. We'll be back with more right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, 7 nights a week on KDKA+. All right, we're back. Ken Rice is standing by at the anchor desk. He's getting ready for KDK News at 11, and on it, Ken, what could we expect?
Bob, local police officers under scrutiny after a controversial confrontation was caught on camera. You're going to see it. Plus, flooding causing major problems for a local restaurant. Ray Petland tracking better weather for tomorrow. All coming up right here at 11, Bob.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Yes, indeed. We have a big day tomorrow. We'll be live again at Oakmont as we get practice day number 2. A lot of guys will be on the tee early throughout the course of the day. More and more guys keep coming in, and it's going to be fascinating to see 6:45 a.m. on Thursday. They'll be teeing off both 1 and 10 the first round. Then, of course, same thing on day 2, except they flip-flop from morning to afternoon and afternoon to morning tee times, and then a cut. After that cut down, they'll proceed with the rest of the tournament on Thursday or Saturday and Sunday. And again, if you're looking at betting odds, it's crazy how many numbers we're talking about here, but the general consensus is +2 or 3 would be the winning score. If I go back to 2016, Dustin Johnson won it at -4. There are only 3 other guys under par out of the entire field. That was it. And the guy who really, and you might want to watch him this week, is Shane Lowry. He'll be here, and when he was here in 2016, he actually led after 54 holes, and then he proceeded to shoot 6 over par on the final day, which opened up the door for Dustin Johnson to win it. But he's had success here. He can play. He's been playing well of late, so watch out for Shane Lowry. Once again, the Pirates win 10-3, that final score. We'll show you highlights of that. We have more on Matt Vogt and Cassidy Wood's story coming at you at 11. Plus, we'll show you Scotty Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau. Both had different approaches at practice day number 1 at Oakmont Country Club. And that's going to do it. Our apologies, Andrew Filipponi. Hopefully we'll be here tomorrow once we get that technical situation fixed. Thank you for joining us, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Always call us. We're on 7 nights a week. We look forward to talking to you on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Have a good week. We'll see you later.